Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Pegg from the Google Maps Platform Developer Relations team, and I'm here with Vanessa Jinman, Customer Experience Lead. We're thrilled to be here today to review some of our most exciting enhancements and features from 2023. So as we look back over the past 12 months, I realize we've provided quite a few new features and enhancements from Google Maps Platform. So today, we'll take the time to review our top 10 highlights to help you track the most important updates we've made this year. So let's dive right in.
All right, starting with number 10, address validation. We all know it can be pretty tedious to fill in forms on a phone or a computer. So, to make this a less frustrating experience and reduce typing errors, we know many of you have been using Place Autocomplete, which is a feature of our Places API, to help your website and app users by auto-completing fields as they type in an address. Earlier this year, we launched something called address validation, which adds an extra layer of validation when someone is entering an address. It's essentially Place Autocomplete on steroids. Among other things, address validation allows you to verify whether the address entered actually exists, which can be very helpful for retail, ride sharing, logistics, and financial services companies. In addition to this validation piece, address validation allows you to identify the various components of unstructured addresses, such as a city or an apartment number, fix errors like misspelled street names, and help infer missing data. And it also allows you to enhance addresses with additional data, such as geocodes and, in the US, postal service data. So address validation has a number of benefits. It can reduce checkout friction, improve delivery success, and reduce costly errors. And definitely, Mike, I don't know if you've had this, but as a consumer, I've had a number of failed deliveries to my apartment, packages that never make it, and so I can see the advantage of something like address validation.
I can't say that I've had that experience living in a house, but I know so many people that have had this with large, perimeters around a complex or apartment area. So yeah, super important. Let's go to number 9, web components. So in May of this year, we launched web components as a new way for web developers to more easily use Google Maps platform. So web components are a popular W3C standard that allows you to encapsulate HTML, CSS, and JavaScript into a custom and reusable HTML element. These reusable components can range from atomic pieces of functionality, like displaying the star rating for a place, to much more complex business logic. Web components are easily interoperable with any JS framework for a lower learning curve, simpler code, and just increased readability that helps developers move faster. This year, we tapped into web components by launching our open source extended component library. This library encapsulates best practices, common UX, UI patterns, responsiveness, and accessibility beyond what the Maps JavaScript API just does out of the box. You can access the map and advanced marker web components directly from the Maps JavaScript API. These are an easy and quick way for you to integrate these UI features with little to no JavaScript. It's really easy. The map component displays a map on a web page, and you have additional map-related elements such as advanced markers inside the map component in HTML. You can also change the look and feel of the map using cloud-based map styling by just applying a map ID. Google Maps platform provides some of the most accurate and comprehensive geodata, but it can sometimes take many lines of code to display that data in well-styled UI elements. With this open source extended component library, we set out to give you Google-grade building blocks that can be accessed, customized, and composed with just a few lines of HTML. We really hope that it makes using the platform easier.
Let's talk about the Routes API, or number 8. Many of you are likely familiar with our directions and distance matrix APIs. The new Routes API takes some of the much loved features from these existing APIs, like comprehensive up-to-date directions with real-time traffic and calculated distances and ETAs, and adds a bunch of new advanced features, making it more flexible and more accurate than ever before. So some of the new features include things like routes for motorized two-wheelers. You can think of motorcycles, Vespas, mopeds. Are mopeds a thing? I'm not sure. Toll data, so you can get a better sense of how much a route costs. real-time traffic information along each segment of a route, the ability to specify whether a waypoint is a pass-through location or a stopping point, new controls for reducing latency, and something many of you might have seen in the Google Maps app, eco-friendly routing. Have you already tried eco-friendly routing, Mike?
I have. I've actually tried it. I'm always surprised at the difference in route it gives me, and sort of helps me
Right.
think, a little bit more deeply about why it's sending me that way and how much, less stopping and starting I might be doing. Also, I feel like e-bikes are the new mopeds. Just a thought to ponder.
I'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to number 7, maps customization and branded experiences. One of the top requests we get from our developer community is for more advanced styling capabilities for the markers that are on the map. So over the past year, we launched a number of feature enhancements around customizing the map. And we've also seen many brands and customers embrace these capabilities to create rich, immersive experiences to engage their customers. Enhanced features like cloud-based map styling give you granular control over the look and feel of the base map by letting you customize over 100 stylable map elements. You can get granular control of your map styles with new map cartography details that were just previously not accessible to you. For example, you can now style reservations, crops, and types of water surfaces. You could change the color of water to a different blue hue if you want, and to choose to overlay all kinds of different points of interest or POI categories of tourist attractions, recreational areas, emergency services, retail, and more. We've also added support for Android and iOS, letting you build consistent mobile user experiences. We've also introduced data-driven styling for datasets, which allows you to more easily style and visualize your own geospatial data in GeoJSON, CSV, and KML formats such as points, lines, and polygons on a map. You'll be able to create new visual experiences with your data that was never before possible. With data-driven styling for boundaries, you can build maps with the same boundaries and polygons that you see on Google Maps. Since the preview launch of data-driven styling for boundaries, we've seen our customers support a wide range of use cases across industries. So real estate, travel, government, healthcare, education, and more. In May, we made advanced markers generally available for the Maps JavaScript API. And in October, we announced support for Android and iOS, which allows you to build experiences that are consistent across platforms. With advanced markers, you can create highly customized, faster performant markers for a richer user experience. Customize the default map marker using SVGs, PNGs, or native views for Android and UI views for iOS for custom markers and control collision behavior on the map, all with improved load times over traditional markers. Our customer Rocket Entertainment used these features to style a really cool fan map experience for Elton John's final US tour. The base map complements the color themes of Sir Elton's farewell Yellow Brick Road tour and evokes his long-standing connection to Los Angeles and Dodger Stadium, where he played his first and now his last US show. I was at the second to last show of Vanessa, and it was pure magic. Already during 2023, we've also seen other music artists launch similar activations, including U2 and Metallica, in support of their new record releases and touring schedules. Super cool.
Wait, Mike, so I'm curious, which of these three would be your top pick if you had to go see them live?
Top pick. I mean, I saw Elton John live. I think I would most like to see, and I've seen U2 live just recently in Las Vegas. I would have to go with Metallica. I haven't seen them live before, and they're just such an amazing band. Okay, let's move to number 6, which is Architecture Center. So we've heard from our developers that they want content and guidance that shows how Google Maps platform works with other technologies. They want to bring together many Google Maps platform services to satisfy a business use case or integrate with Google Cloud products and other third-party technologies and frameworks. So to help with this, we've launched what we call the Architecture Center. This is a central resource for product managers, architects, and technical leads who are looking to design a location-based application, or they just want to accelerate the integration of Google Maps platform into their products or their infrastructure. Architecture Center content focuses on using Google Maps platform to deliver value to a customer by solving real business problems with a special emphasis on business use cases from a range of verticals.
Now let's dive into number 5, our environment APIs. Earlier this year at Google Cloud Next, we introduced 3 brand new APIs that make up our suite of environment APIs. That's solar, air quality, and pollen. Given the urgency of climate change, I'm particularly excited about these APIs as they can really help developers create new sustainability tools, share actionable insights with users, and encourage people to really adapt to these new environmental realities. So let's take a closer look at each of these 3 APIs. First, the Solar API. The Solar API has 2 distinct functionalities to help all types of solar companies address solar viability and design. The first one, Building Insights, provides quick analysis into the solar viability of a building, such as the amount of sunlight the building receives and the most energy efficient solar panel array. The second functionality, Data Layers, provides insights that facilitate the design of solar systems, such as a digital surface model of the rooftop and nuances like shading, which can affect the performance of solar panels. The Solar API is available in over 40 countries for over 320 million buildings and helps solar companies give their customers the information they need to decide whether to move forward with solar installations and reduce carbon emissions. The second API is our Air Quality API, which gives developers access to reliable air quality data, the ability to visualize pollution via heat maps, and the opportunity to share pollutant details and recommended actions with concerned users. And Mike, you and I, we both live in California. With all the wildfires that have been going on in these past few years, this seems increasingly relevant. Air pollution is also very dynamic. It can change quickly. So to account for this, we combine information from multiple sources, including government monitoring stations, low-cost sensors, meteorological data, satellites, land cover, as well as live traffic information. And finally, the Pollen API provides access to current pollen information for the most common allergens worldwide. It can be used to help people limit the risks of exposure to allergenic pollen, make better informed daily decisions, and adapt to longer, more severe allergy seasons in the face of a changing climate. Definitely very relevant for those of us who suffer from allergies. On to number 4, the New Places API. In October of this year, we announced the new version of our very popular Places API. Something that many of you have been asking for a long time has been to get more of the attributes and details that you see in the Google Maps app into the API as well. And so that's what we've done. The New Places API includes tons of new place types and attributes that you can surface for your users. Here's one of my favorite additions. We all know electric vehicles, or EVs, have grown a lot in popularity in recent years. And with an EV, it's more important than with a regular car to be able to plan your trip and your charges. So to help with that, we've included EV charging station locations in the New Places API. This includes real-time information, like which stations are available and the maximum charging speed at each station. In addition to EV charging stations, we've added support for almost 100 other new place types, nearly doubling the total number of place types that we have in the Places API. This includes more granular restaurant types, like my personal favorites, sushi restaurants and Middle Eastern restaurants, outdoor areas like hiking areas, dog parks, and playgrounds. And I was looking at the list earlier today. It even includes heliports. If you want to take your helicopter for a spin. You can now also use the place types to include or exclude nearby places from place searches. And finally, I wanted to highlight that the new place types also include some important new accessibility attributes, such as wheelchair accessible seating, restrooms, and parking. This builds on our wheelchair accessible entrance field, which was introduced into the Places API in 2022 and is also available by default on Google Maps.
That's a super important addition. And also, Vanessa, your mention of EV charging is reminding me that I'm the only person left in California that does not have an electric vehicle. So I need to buy one.
Not not true. I also do not have an electric vehicle. So we're
You
in the same.
okay?
I was going to say we're in the same boat, but maybe we're in the same
The
car
same car,
type.
the same gas powered car. Okay. Let's
All
move to number
right.
3, React library for Maps JavaScript API. So rewind a little bit back to 2005 when the Maps JavaScript API first launched, and the web looked and performed much differently than it does now. Since then, front-end web frameworks, they've emerged, vastly simplifying how front-end web developers create the beautiful, engaging user experiences that you see on the web today. Today, React.js is the most popular front-end web framework in use by over half of front-end web developers. We started off initially supporting React developers with a wrapper library for loading the Maps JavaScript API and a set of videos teaching developers how to integrate the Maps JavaScript API into a React app. Today, I'm excited to highlight the alpha release of what we call VisGL React Google Maps. That's the first Google-sponsored library for integrating the Maps JavaScript API components into a React web app. VisGL React Google Maps comes with a collection of React components to create things like maps, markers, and info windows, as well as a set of hooks to use some of the Maps JavaScript API services and libraries. You can install it just like any other package from NPM, and you can find it on the VisGL org on GitHub. And there's a link here. If you're a React developer, please give it a try, and you can let us know your experience or ask any questions over on our Discord server.
So, Mike, how do you feel about drone footage?
Uh, a drone is also something that I feel like I need to get. I don't know how to start, but why do you ask?
Well, I am excited to talk about our number 2 highlight from 2023, which essentially gives you access to really cool drone footage without needing a drone. It's called Aerial View. Aerial
Great.
View gives you programmatic access to these cinematic videos built with the same source 3D imagery that Google Earth uses. You can think of it as allowing someone to experience a place without ever having been there. Using one of our pre-rendered videos or by creating your own, you can quickly generate immersive fly-throughs at scale for any US location. Since the launch of Aerial View, we've seen companies across industries use it to help their users get to know an area virtually to make educated decisions related to that area or location. Here you can see how one of our early adopter customers, Rent, uses Aerial View for prospective tenants to virtually discover details about a property and its neighborhood. So when you're looking to rent, you might be interested in knowing, is there a park nearby or is the apartment close to a highway? And so you can experience this through this beautiful, rich 3D imagery. Rent are also helping their property managers and owners get better leads as a result of Aerial View. Because potential tenants can access more information about the property online, they are likely to be genuinely interested in the property by the time they schedule a visit. I definitely know it can be time consuming to go view a bunch of apartments and neighborhoods. And so this really speeds up the process for both consumers and companies.
Yeah, and they can get a bird's eye look at the property without needing to use the heliport place type. They can use
I
aerial
don't even
view,
say without
which is
needing
great.
to use a bird.
Okay, let's talk about our number 1 highlight of the year. Vanessa, you just talked about aerial view, giving developers and customers new ways to make use of this immersive 3D imagery. The next step in this imagery offering is to access that same 3D imagery through the Photorealistic 3D Tiles API. This has been one of our most requested features with so much interest in the community, and we've seen an amazing array of developers creating really cool map visualization experiences with this 3D data. Some of them are using photorealistic 3D tiles to illustrate future land developments with a realistic 3D backdrop. Others are extending their 2D maps to 3D to help better communicate spatial patterns with more intuitive map views. Developers are also using photorealistic 3D tiles to create location-based AR or augmented reality experiences and to create branded immersive maps for just some amazing user experiences.
And that's a wrap. Thank you for attending today's webinar. We hope you were able to be inspired by some of these highlights from the past year, and we can't wait to see what you build in 2024.